August 15th, Darci's Reflections or Darci's Corners, Part 2. If you followed that last one till the end, that's good. It's probably depressing because it didn't I didn't conclude my thoughts. So I talked about what it was like being in the 5th grade and the 6th and 7th grade, and how I was picked on a lot and people were encouraging me to end myself. And now I was talking about how the dysphoria gets overwhelming, and that's why I do this. And it's not because this makes me happy. This has the potential to make me happy if I can ever get to the other side of this thing. But as I'm trying to climb out of this hole that I'm in, it's made it a lot harder when people corner me to tell me that I don't belong here and that I'm not welcome here. But I'm going to be here anyway. I am currently reflecting on the wisdom of how much time and effort I'm spending with the karaoke thing that I'm doing. Uh, just because it seems to have, that was directive. It seems to me that I've met everybody I can meet doing this, and I have made some friends doing it, but I just keep alienating people. I made one friend, and she lives in my building, and she said I thought she was a nice enough lady. And then yesterday or the other day, she's like, "Yeah, don't ever message me again about anything ever. Your problems aren't mine, and I just don't care anymore. We're done." And it was like she was breaking up with me, except that we never went on a date ever, even once. So we were never dating. So she couldn't really break up with me. And so I'm not like upset that she broke up with me because we were never dating. But the fact that she absolutely does not want to be my friend at all in any capacity and would just like to cease all contact me whatsoever. I'm like, okay, well, I didn't realize that I was stalking you or sending you anything inappropriate, or doing anything really wrong in terms of our interactions. But I did not tell her I'm sorry because I reflect and going, I don't think I did anything wrong. So I have nothing to be sorry for. I mean, it's good that people like that eliminate themselves from my sphere because, you know, I don't need people like that in my world. Um, Now, maybe you could say, well, I didn't care enough about their situations, but they didn't share with me. Maybe that was the hint I should have taken. I don't know. At any rate, it's I just keep isolating myself from people, and every time I isolate myself, I make my world smaller. Oh, here's a minor update I forgot to mention. In one of my previous posts, I was complaining that a dating site had frozen me out because I was trans, and they have since corrected the situation, and now I can freely interact with the other people, and that just led a whole new wave of loneliness, really. I mean, I guess I've met literally two, maybe three different individuals in person now from that site, and it's all a bunch of chasers or people who are just curious about trans people because they've never met one before, and now they finally met one and they can check that off their list. Well, sure, I'm glad I could fulfill that wish list for you. And then the other ones are just, perverts, really. And they want me to be perverted with them. And I'm like, well, I don't really want to be perverted with you. But I mean, I'm a physical creature. I would like to have intimacy with somebody. And so, like, I'll play along with this fantasy or that fantasy for a bit. But at the end of the day, like, I want to meet somebody and hang out with them and enjoy their time and their company and like have exchange actual ideas. And so far, uh, with the exception of the two that I definitely met, uh, and the first one thought for certain that I was going to be intimate with them because they were feeling frisky, but they had all sorts of mental problems that once I realized that they had those mental problems, not to mention a drug habit, and they were an alcoholic, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't think you're ready to handle someone like me, so I'm just going to go home now, even though I just drove an hour and a half to see you. Clearly that was a waste of my time. Then the person the next day, I waited all day to meet them, only to gather from the conversation that they just never met a trans person before and they just really wanted to do that. Okay, well, I mean, that's harmless enough, other than it's a waste of my time. But that person never had any intention of dating me or forming a bond with me. So that wasn't going to work. And the rest of the people are just people who want to fantasize about intercourse with me. And although I'm flattered, it's like, if you actually met me, spent time with me, you could actually have intercourse with me. That's on the table if you'd show up. And no one ever does. And even if they did show up, if that's the only reason that they're showing up, then things are going to get real boring real quick. And that's not something that I want. I don't want a person who just wants to get some. I mean, I'm not knocking people who want that, and I'm not knocking people who do that. I'm just saying that I want a connection that's going to last. And I'm not sure how to find that. If I reflect back to my, I didn't finally start getting friends until the 6th grade a little bit, and then the 7th grade kind of. And I didn't find a would-be girlfriend until like the 10th grade. This was when I met Trina, and that's because she hit on me. I didn't hit on her. And I was so lonely and so dejected and so the fact that any girl thought I was worth talking to, I thought was amazing. And the thing was, even then, I had crushes on guys. I just didn't know that's what it was. But because there were certain guys that would sometimes sit next to me in the library, and I would get the tingles. Now, the tingles, if you're an ASMR person, is that feeling that goes down your back of your neck. Just you hear this voice or this, you're in the presence of this thing. It feels so good, and you don't know why. And I would have that with certain guys. But there was no gay straight alliance in those days. You could never tell anybody. Okay, that was not an acceptable thing to share. And I was a loner back then too in high school because I didn't fit with the nerds, even though I was somewhat nerdy, and I didn't fit with the jocks or the skaters. I wasn't a smoker. I mean, you could be any of the group and be a smoker, but I wasn't a smoker. And so I was a loner by default. And here I am, an adult. And it feels like I'm a loner by default. But what got me out of that at least somewhat, was having a girlfriend. That seemed to get me out of that loner rut that I was stuck in. Gave me something to focus on. Of course, what I had to focus on was that my girlfriend was pregnant, and the whole world hated me even more. All these beeps. So now here I am, an adult, and I don't have a partner. I don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. I don't have the potential for any of them. I don't have any semblance of a career, even though I have all sorts of qualifications, taken all sorts of courses. I have a large variety of job skills, and yet I can't seem to find a place to put any of those skills that will sufficiently cover my needs. So I can't even move, right? Let's say I wanted to go to Edmonton where there appear to be more jobs. Well, the jobs are still $18 and $20 an hour, and it costs quite a bit to live there, and I don't have the money for damage deposit or trucks to move or anything. Yes, there's more queer people there, but I don't know. I've never been able to connect with any of them either. I mean, the internet's right here, and I'm on 2 different dating sites now, plus the Facebook site, plus there's a couple free ones for just plain hooking up if that's what you want to do. And I can't seem to connect with anybody on any of these things beyond a one-off fling, which I'm not interested in that sort of thing at all anymore. Wasn't really interested in it before either. I just thought things would lead somewhere, but they never did. Part of me thinks I should just pull back from everything. Stop going karaoke. Stop doing anything that is not me getting a job. And yet, I don't know what more I can do to get any kind of gainful employment that will cover my needs. People tell me to go work for minimum wage at a gas station, which they won't hire me either, or go work for minimum wage at a hotel. And I'm not too good to make a bed. I'm not too good to scrub a toilet or run a front desk. But if I'm doing all that for minimum wage, I might as well not be doing it, because I won't be able to keep my apartment or my vehicle or feed myself. So all these are like no-win scenarios. And I'm running out of options. And I'm just trying to think, well, when I was in my youth, what changed things? Well, my girlfriend changed things, but I can't get another one of those. Or a boyfriend either, it seems. What if I change jobs again? Well, how many? Okay, sure, but which one? There's not that many more options for me, and I've taken a wide variety of training and courses and things. I can't go to college or university anymore. I don't have the financial capacity to do it, or the ability to pay back any more loans. Plus, I'm already significantly in debt, and it's getting worse. Every month, the hole gets deeper. I have lots of brilliant ideas. I just don't know how to execute any of them. So anyway, this Darcy's reflection is really depressing. It's really long. Am I going to post it? Sure. You know why I'm going to post it? First of all, nobody's going to watch the 15 minutes. Second of all, I'm just trying to give myself a game plan based on what I have to work with. I just don't like my options. I'm not sure how to make myself, I'm not sure how to arrange better options for myself. Also, if I just stop going to my karaoke things, then I'm just giving in to the bullies and never give them anything. But on the other hand, I'm just alienating people. And I'm going to continue to alienate people because apparently that's in my nature. And I don't want to alienate people. Sometimes the answers will just come to me and I can just see them right there. Like, oh, I have to go do that thing. I have to get this ball in that hole. And if I can do that, it'll move me forward. And I just don't see what ball I need to move forward at this point. I can't feminize anymore. I've maxed out there. I don't know that I can maximize my earning potential anymore. I keep having all these ideas for books, but those never seem to go anywhere either. I wanted to write a book about bullying and getting to the other side, but I'm 44 years old and I'm still not on the other side. That's depressing. Anyway, this is way too long. I'm going to stop now. Darcy's Reflections, Part 2. Peace.